Hello, book lovers and English learners. Welcome to our January and February live read along. I'm Lydie Bureau. I'm an English teacher in France and also the founder of Lydie's Book Club, a book club for learners of English. In this book club, I host live readings and discussion workshops on adaptations of classics of literature and contemporary novels in their original texts. I also tend to prioritize books that are written by women. Each month, we read and explore a different book for all levels of English. Each week, I host live reading sessions on Instagram and also on Zoom for free. And to be able to attend these live readings, you just need to subscribe to the newsletter to get the free link to access the Zoom session. So, 3 times a month, in addition to the live readings, 3 times a month, we meet with the members of the book club in a live discussion workshop via Zoom to talk about the chapters that we have read that week and reflect as well on the book and reflect on our own appreciation of the book um, and also uh, we also reflect with our own experiences. Um, so the discussions are usually very rich. Um, so it's the best way really for the members to improve their speaking and critical thinking skills. Being part of this community allows you to share your thoughts and also decide on the next books to read. Very important. So for the next month, so we've already started reading It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover, published in 2016. We are reading the book in its original text because it's contemporary novel and contemporary English. So it's quite an easy read, I would say. Even if you are intermediate upper, I would say you need to be an upper intermediate. You need to have an upper intermediate level in English, so the equivalent of B2 level, to be able to appreciate this book. Um, and if you're advanced, if you have an advanced level, then it's going to be quite accessible. But if you are a beginner or a pre-intermediate, it might be a little bit difficult to get into this. But I have loads of workshops on my website if you want to listen to the conversation of other books with with lower levels. So you can find this on my website, leadersbookclub.com, if you have a lower level in English. So if you want to know more about this novel and Colleen Hoover's work, then I invite you to listen to the podcast episode 29. It's called An Introduction to It Ends With Us and Colleen Hoover. And the podcast is called Read in English, and you can have access to it on YouTube and Spotify. So today is our live read along session 10. We're going to read chapter 14. And this Sunday, I will host our fourth live workshop session to talk about chapters 12 to 16. So if you want to attend this workshop, you just click on the link in the description of this video and you subscribe to the book club and you'll get the links and everything. Well, the link to attend the Zoom session of the discussion workshop. And just to say that to be able to attend this live workshop will be the best way for you to improve your reading and your speaking skills in English. So I really recommend you to join the book club and be part of this wonderful literary adventure. Um, so that's it for me about all the introductory information. So now I'm going to do a quick recap of the chapters 12 and 13 that we've read last Saturday. So if you missed that live reading, if you want to listen to the reading of chapters 12 and 13, then you can find them all on YouTube. Well, you can find the video on YouTube and also on Spotify. So, what is nice with the live reading that I do is that I always give additional information while I'm reading. And also, I question because there are some words, especially because this is an original text and there are a lot of expressions, American expressions, or just new concepts that I'm not aware of. So it's always um, interesting to discover new movements or new to learn more about new things, such as in chapter 12, there is this term called steampunk, which I didn't know about when I was reading the chapter last week. And after quick research, find out that steampunk is kind of a movement, cultural and literary movement that combines elements of the past and the period, the steam, so the industrial period, so the 19th century, 19 in early 20 century. And it's mixed with futuristic elements in the fiction, for example, if it's about literature, or when it's about clothes, then they mix both clothes dating from the 19th century with modern and punkish um, details. And you can find that online, but it's very interesting. So punk references, basically. So it's kind of a retro future science fiction, but also embedded in the 19th century. So it's very specific genre of fiction, or it's a subgenre more like of fiction, or whether it's in the art or music, or in this case, flowers, because it's Lily who mentions this concept of steampunk for the decoration of her shop, and also, and more specifically, about the grand opening of her shop. So she wants to do a theme. She wants to decorate the shop with the steampunk style. Yeah. So a little bit of black and also vintage kind of elements to decorate the shop, I guess. Okay, I'm really sorry. I'm still a little bit sick, so I might have to pause sometime to blow my nose. Winter, winter, winter. Okay, so let's get started. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize that I didn't finish to talk about chapter 12. Sorry. Oh my gosh. Okay, so chapter 12 is not just about steampunk. So in this, just briefly, in this chapter, we have a big news. We learn we learn that Eliza and Marshall are going to be parents. Eliza is pregnant, and they learn that in the bar, in this bar where they have free beers and one and wear onesies. And Marshall obviously is over the moon when he learns that. And at the same time, and then we learn also how Eliza and Marshall met and how they fell in love. So that's very sweet. And after that, there is a little bit of a blank in the conversation, or a more the conversation take a more serious tone when Eliza is the first to mention that they are actually three. So Ryle, Eliza, and Eliza used to have an older brother, and we learn here that um, he has died when they were young. So Lily is quite surprised and didn't expect um, to learn that, obviously. So she feels a little bit embarrassed because she asked about this other sibling, and so she feels a little bit silly for asking that question, although she didn't mean wrong. Um, but then Marshall is very good at redirecting the conversation to a more pleasant topic. So they move on, and then they go home. And in chapter 13, um, uh, this scene, as I mentioned in the short video on my Instagram, I don't know if you've watched it, but this is, oh no, it's I mentioned that in the live reading actually, that it looked a little bit like a 50 Shade of Grey kind of scene. So it's very intimate and unexpected as well. I didn't expect that, and my book club members as well didn't expect to be reading such a scene. But as I mentioned in our discussion workshop on last Sunday, is that if I'm not mistaken, Colleen Hoover has been inspired by, she's a fan of, I forgot the name of the writer of 50 Shades of Grey. She's a British writer, and she's a fan of her. And I guess this is a little reference to this kind of fiction, romance fiction, where there is a little bit about SM kind of stuff. It's not like hardcore SM. It's not as, it doesn't go as far as 50 Shades of Grey, but there is this sort of fantasy around a dynamic, a very dominant dynamic of the couple, and especially in the sexual scenes. And here, chapter 13, if you like 50 Shades of Grey, you're gonna love chapter 13. So uh, I encourage you to read it if you're into this kind of romance mixed with SM stuff. So, and Yeah, it's very much all about pleasure and stuff. So I let you read that or listen to the reading at your own time and appreciate the scene. Right. So I'm going to start reading chapter 14 now. Okay. My phone rings. I pick it up to see who it is, and I am little taken aback. It's the first time Ryle has ever called me. We always just text. How odd to have a boyfriend for over 3 months that I've never once spoken to on the phone. Hello? Hey, girlfriend, he says. I smiled cheesily at the sound of his voice. Hey, boyfriend. Guess what? What? I'm taking the day off tomorrow. Your flower shop doesn't open until 1 o'clock on Sundays. I'm on my way to your apartment with 2 bottles of wine. You want to have a sleepover with your boyfriend and have drunk sex all night and sleep until noon? It's really embarrassing what his words do to me. I smile and say, guess what? What? I'm cooking you dinner and I am wearing an apron. Oh yeah, he says, just an apron. And then I hang up. A few seconds later, I get a text message. Sorry. Um, Ryle, pick, please. Pick as picture, please. Me, get over here and you can take the picture yourself. I'm almost finished preparing the casserole mixture when the door opens. I pour it into the glass pan and don't turn around when I hear him walk into the kitchen. When I said I was just wearing an apron, I meant it. I'm not even wearing panties. It's just completely naked. Under the apron is this cloth that you wear for cooking. So you can easily see that in films when sometimes their husband, their men are wearing this very sexy attire um, for cooking. Not very hygienic, I would say, because she's completely naked underneath. But yeah, very sexy, I guess. I can hear him suck in a rush of hair when I reach over to the oven and stick the casserole inside. I might reach a little too far for show when I do it. When I close the oven, I don't face him. I grab a rag and start whipping down the oven, making sure to sway my hips as much as possible. I squeal when I feel a piercing sting on my right butt cheek. I spin around and Ryle is grinding, holding 2 bottles of wine. Did you just bite me? He gives me an innocent look. Don't tempt the scorpion if you don't want to get stung. He eyes me up and down while he opens one of the bottles. He holds it up before he pours us a glass and says, it's vintage. Vintage, I say with mock impression. What's the special occasion? He hands me a glass and says, I'm going to be an uncle. I have a smoking hot girlfriend, and I get to perform a very rare, possibly once in a lifetime craniopagus separation on Monday. Cranio what? He finishes off his glass of wine and pours himself another one. Cranio Craniopagus separation. Joined twins. Mm-hmm. He says. So basically they're attached. So the twins are, I don't know if you've seen that when twins are attached, when they just one. Yeah, it's usually very impressive surgery. Um, he points to a spot on the top of his head and taps it. Attached right here. We've been studying them since they were born. It's a very rare surgery, very rare. For the first time, I think I'm genuinely turned on by him as a doctor. I mean, I admire his drive, I admire his dedication, but seeing how excited he is about what he's doing for a living is seriously sexy. How long do you think it all take? I ask. It will take, I ask. He shrugs. Not sure. They're young, so being under general anesthesia for too long is a concern. He holds up his right hand and wiggles his fingers. But this is a very special hand, and that has been through almost $1 million worth of specialty education. I have a lot of faith in this hand, in this hand. I walk over to him and press my lips to his palm. I'm a little fond of his hand, of this hand too. Well, because, well, remember chapter 13, chapter 13. I'm just gonna say that. He slides the hand down to my neck and then spins me so that I'm flush against the counter. I gasp because I wasn't expecting that. He pushes himself against me from behind and slowly slides his hand down the side of my body. I press my palms into the granite and close my eyes, already feeling the rush of the wine. This hand, he whispers, is the steadiest hand in all of Boston. Oh gosh. He pushes on the back of my neck, bending me further over the counter. His hand meets the inside of my knee and he glides it upward slowly. Jesus. He pushes my legs apart and then his fingers are inside me. I moan and try to find something to hold on to. I grip the faucet just as he begins to work magic. So here we go again. But here again, we see that he take charge of again the situation. Although she's willing to do it as well. And then, just like a magician, his hand disappears. I hear him walking out. His hand disappears. I hear him walking out of the kitchen. I watch as he passes the front of the counter. He winks at me, down the rest of his glass of wine, and says, I'm going to take a quick shower. What a tease. You asshole, I yelled after him. I'm not an asshole, he yells from the bedroom. I'm a highly trained neurosurgeon. I laugh and pour myself another glass of wine. I'll show him who the tease really is. Right, so they are playing this game, very flirty and, well, same. Well, he's playing with her, I guess, because he just brings the tension up. I'm on my third glass of wine when he walks out of my bedroom. I'm on the phone with my mother, so I watch him from the couch as he makes his way to the kitchen and pours himself another glass. That is some seriously good wine. What are you doing tonight? My mother asks. Oh, yeah, okay, anyway. I have her on the speakerphone. Ryle is leaning against a wall, watching me talk to her. Not much. Helping Ryle study. That sounds not very interesting, she says. Ryle winks at me. It's actually very interesting, I said to her. I help him study a lot, mostly reviewing fine motor control of the hands. In fact, we'll probably be up all night studying. Oh my gosh. She's making this allusion to her mother. Can you? The 3 glasses of wine has made me frisky. I can't believe I'm flirting I'm I can't believe I'm flirting with him while I'm on the phone with my mother. Gross. I gotta go, I tell her. We're taking we're taking Eliza and Marshall out to dinner tomorrow night, so I'll call you on Monday. Oh, where are you taking them? I roll my eyes. The woman can't take a hint. I don't know. Right, where are we taking them? That place we went to that one time with your mom, he says. Bibs? I made reservation for 6 o'clock. My heart feels like it slinks down my chest. My mother says, Oh, good choice. Yeah, if you like stale bread. Bye, Mum. I hang up and look at Ryan. I don't want to go back there. I didn't like it. Let's try something new. I failed to tell him why I really don't want to go back there. But how do you tell your brand new boyfriend that you're trying to avoid your first love? Ryan pushes off the wall. You'll be fine, he says. Eliza's excited to eat there. I told her all about it. Maybe I'll get lucky and Atlas won't be working. Speaking of food, Ryan says, I'm starving. The casserole! Oh shit! I say, laughing. Ryan rushes to the kitchen and I stand up and follow him in there. I walk in just as he pulls the oven door. I walk in just as he pulls the oven door open and waves away the smoke. Ruined. I get dizzy all of a sudden from standing up too fast after having glasses of wine. I grab the counter beside him to steady myself just as he reaches in to pull the burnt casserole out. Ryan, you need a shit, he yells. Pot the pot holder. The casserole falls from his hand and lands on the floor, shattering everywhere. I lift up my feet to avoid broken glass and mushroom chicken splatter. I start laughing as soon as I realize he didn't even think to use a pot holder. Must be the wine. This is some this is some seriously strong wine. He slams the oven shut and moves to the faucet, shoving his hand under the cold water, muttering curse words. I'm trying to suppress my laughter, but the wine in this in the ridiculousness of the last few seconds are making it hard. I look at the floor at the mess we're about to have to clean up, and the laughter bursts from me. I'm still laughing as I lean over to get a look at Ryan's hand. I hope he didn't hurt. I hope he didn't hurt it too bad. I'm instantly not laughing anymore. I'm on the floor, my hand pressed against the corner of my eye. Ooh, okay. In a matter of 1 second, Ryle's arm came out of nowhere and slammed against me, knocking me backward. There was enough force behind it to knock me off balance. When I lost my footing, I hit my face in one of the cabinet door handles as I came down. Pain shoots through the corner of my eye, right near my temple, and then I feel the weight. Heaviness follows and it presses down on every part of me. So much gravity pushing down on my emotions. Everything shatters. My tears, my heart, my laughter, my soul. Shattered like broken glass, raining down around me. I wrap my arms over my head and try to wish away the last 10 seconds. God damn it, Lily, I hear her say. It's not funny. This hand is my fucking career. I don't look up at him. His voice doesn't penetrate through my body this time. It feels like it's stabbing. It feels like it's stabbing me now. The sharpness of each of his words coming at me like swords. Then I feel then I feel him next to me. His goddamn hand on my back. Rubbing. Lily, he says. Oh God, Lily. He tries to pull my arms from my head, but I refuse to budge, refuse to move. I start shaking my head, wanting the last 15 seconds to go away. 15 seconds. That's all it takes to completely change everything about a person. 15 seconds that will never get back. He pulls me against him and starts kissing the top of my head. I'm so sorry. I burned my hand. I panicked. You were laughing and I'm so sorry. It all happened so fast. I didn't mean to push you, Lily. I'm sorry. I don't hear Ryan's voice this time. All I hear is my father's voice. I'm sorry, Jenny. It was an accident. I'm so sorry. That's Jenny is her mother. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, Lily. It was an accident. I'm so sorry. I just want him away from me. I use every ounce of strength I have in both my hands and legs, and I force him to fuck away from me. He falls backward onto his hands. His eyes are full of genuine sorrow, but then they're full of something else. Worry? Panic? He slowly pulls up his right hand and it's covered in blood. Blood is trickling out of his palm, down his wrist. I look at the floor, at the shattered pieces of glass from the casserole dish. His hand. I just pushed him onto glass. He turns around and pulls himself up. He sticks his hand under the under the stream of water and starts rinsing away the blood. I stand up just as he pulls a silver glass out of his palm and tosses it on the counter. I'm full of so much anger, but somehow concern for his hand still finding its way out. I grab a towel and shove it into his fist. There is so much blood. It's his right hand. His surgery Monday. I try to help stop the bleeding, but I'm shaking too bad. Ryle, your hand. He pulls the hand away, and with his good hand, he lifts my chin. Fuck the hand, Lily. I don't care about my hand. Are you okay? He's looking back and forth between my eyes frantically as he assesses the cut on my face. My shoulders begin to shake and huge, hot-filled tears spilled down my cheeks. No, I'm a little in shock, and I know he can hear my heart breaking with just that one word, because I can feel it in every part of me. Oh my God, you pushed me, Ryle. You, the realization of what has just happened hurts worse than the actual action. Ryle wraps his arm around my neck and desperately holds me against him. I'm so sorry, Lily. God, I'm so sorry. He buries his face against my hair, squeezing me with every emotion inside of him. Please don't hate me. Please. His voice slowly starts to become Ryle's voice again, and I feel it in my stomach, in my toes. His entire career depends on his hand, so it has to say something that he's not even worried about it, right? I'm so confused. There is too much happening. The smoke, the wine, the broken glass, the food splattered everywhere, the blood, the anger, the apologies. It's too much. I'm so sorry, he says again. I pull back and his eyes are red, and I've never seen him look so sad. I panicked. I panicked. I didn't mean to push you away. I just panicked. All I could think about was the surgery Monday and my hand, and I'm so sorry. He presses his mouth to mine and breathes me in. He's not like my father. He can't be. He's nothing like that uncaring bastard. We're both upset and kissing and confused and sad. I've never felt anything like this moment. So ugly and painful. But somehow, the only thing that eases the hurt just caused by this man is this man. My tears are soothed by his sorrow, my emotions soothed with his mouth against mine, his hand gripping me like he never wants to let go. I feel his arms go around my waist and he picks me up, carefully stepping through the mess we've made. I can't tell if I'm more disappointed in him or myself. Him for losing his temper in the first place, or me for somehow finding comfort in his apology. He carries me and kisses me all the way to my bedroom. He's still kissing me when he lowers me to the bed and whispers, "I'm sorry, Lily." He moves his lips to the spot on my eye that hit the cabinet and he kisses me there. "I'm so sorry." His mouth is on mine again, hot and wet, and I don't even know what's happening to me. I'm hurting so much on the inside, yet my body craves his apology in the form of his mouth and hands on me. I want to lash out at him and react like I always wish my mother would have reacted when my father hurt her. But deep down, I want to believe that it really was an accident. Ryle isn't like my father. He's nothing like him. I need to feel his sorrow, his regret. I get both of these things in the way he kisses me. I spread my legs for him, and his sorrow comes in another form. Slow, apologetic thrust inside of me every time he enters me. He whispers another apology, and by some miracle, every time he pulls out of me, my anger leaves with him. Hmm. He's kissing my shoulder, my cheek, my eye. He's still on top of me, touching me gently. So just after that, so he's taking her to bed and they basically have sex. So hmm. I've never been touched like this, with such tenderness. I tried to forget what happened in the kitchen, but it's everything right now. He pushes me away from him. Ryan pushed me. For 15 seconds, I saw a side of him that wasn't him. That wasn't me. I laughed at him when I should have been concerned. He shoved me when he should have never touched me. I pushed him away and caused him to cut his hand. It was awful. The whole thing, the entire 15 seconds it lasted, was absolutely awful. I never want to think about it again. He still has the rag balled up in his hand, and it's soaked with blood. I push against his chest. "I'll be right back," I tell him. He kisses me one more time, and rolls off of me. I walk to the bathroom and close the door. I look in the mirror and gasp. Blood in my hair, on my cheeks, on my body. It's all his blood. I grab a rag and try to wash them off. And then I look under the sink for the first aid kit. I have no idea how bad his hand is. First, he burnt it, then he sliced it open. Not even an hour after he was just telling me how important his surgery was to him. No more wine. We're never allowed vintage wine again. I grabbed the box from under the sink and opened the bedroom door. He's walking back to the bedroom from the kitchen with a small bag of ice. He holds it up. For your eye, he says. I hold up the first aid kit. For your hand. We both smile and then sit back down on the bed. He leans against the headboard while I pull his hand to my lap. The whole time I'm dressing his wound, he's holding the bag of ice against my eye. I squeeze some antiseptic cream onto my finger, and dab it against the burns on his fingers. They don't look as bad as I thought they might be. So that's a relief. Can you prevent it from blistering? I ask him. He shakes his head. Not if it's second degree. I want to ask him if he can still perform the surgery if his fingers have blisters on them come Monday. But I don't bring it up. I'm sure that's the forefront of his mind right now. That's on the forefront of his mind. Do you want me to put some on your cut? He nods. The bleeding has stopped. I'm sure if he needed stitches, he'd get some. But I think it'd be fine. I pull the bandage out of the first aid kit and begin wrapping his hand. Lily, he whispers. I look up at him. His head is resting against the headboard, and it looks like he wants to cry. I feel terrible, he says. If I could take it back. I know, I say, cutting him off. I know, Ryle. It was terrible. You pushed me. You made me question everything. Okay. You made me question everything I thought I knew about you, but I know you feel bad about it. We can't take it back. I don't want to bring it up again. I secure the bandage around his hand, and then look him in the eye. But Ryle, if anything like that ever happens again, I will know that this time wasn't just an accident, and I will leave you without a second thought. He stares at me for a long time, his eyebrows drawn apart in regret. He leans forward and presses his lips against mine. It won't happen again, Lily. I swear, I'm not like him. I know that's what you're thinking, but I swear to you. I shake my head, wanting him to stop. I can't take the pain in his voice. I know you're nothing like my father, I say. Just, please, don't ever make me doubt. Don't ever make me doubt you again, please. He brushes hair, he brushes hair from my forehead. You're the most important part of my life, Lily. I want to be what brings you happiness, not what causes you to hurt. He kisses me and then stands up and leans over me, pressing the ice to my face. Hold this here for about 10 more minutes. It will prevent it from swelling. I replace his hand with mine. Where are you going? He kisses me on the forehead and says, to clean up my mess. He spends the next 20 minutes cleaning the kitchen. Can hear glass being tossed in the trash can, wine being poured out in the sink. I go to the bathroom and take a quick shower to get his blood off of me, and then I change the sheets on my bed. When he finally has the kitchen cleaned up, he comes to the bedroom with a glass. He hands it to me. It's soda, he says. The caffeine will help. I take a drink of it and feel it fizz down my throat. It's actually the perfect thing. I take another drink and set it on my nightstand. What's it help with? The hangover? Ryan slides into bed and pulls the covers over us. He shakes his head. No, I don't think soda actually helps anything. My mom just used to give me a soda after I had a bad day, and it always made me feel a little better. I smile. Well, it worked. He brushes his hand down my cheek, and I can see in his eyes and in the way he touches me that he deserves what at least one chance of at forgiveness. I feel I feel if I don't find a way to forgive him, I'll somehow be placing blame on him for the resentment I still hold for my father. He's not like my father. Ryle loves me. He's never come out and said it before, but I know he does, and I love him. What happened in the kitchen tonight is something I'm confident won't happen again. Not after seeing how upset he is that it hurt me. All humans make mistakes. What determines a person's character aren't the mistakes we make, it's how we take those mistakes and turn them into lessons rather than excuses. Ryan's eyes somehow grow even more sincere. He leans over and kisses my hand. He settles his head into the pillow, and we just lie there, staring at each other, staring this unspoken energy that fills all the holes the night has left in us. After a few minutes, he squeezes my hand. Lily, he says, brushing his thumb over mine. I'm in love with you. Here we go. I feel his words in every part of me. And when I whisper, I love you too, it's the most naked truth I've ever spoken to him. And this is the end of chapter 14. This is it for today. So here we are in the deep of the relationship of these two, and start seeing the cracks here. So this is the first accident happening between Ryle and Lily, and it's a complete and in comparison with the film, this is completely different. Um, the setting is completely different, but there is still the oven, the story about the oven and pushing her, of course. But in the film, it's not happening at her place, but at his place. And the whole scene with the mom on the phone is not adapted, or it's not represented in the film. So some parts of that scene are similar in the film, but clearly we have a different outlook here in the book. And the fact that she is laughing by nervousness, of course, that happens to everyone when someone hurts itself, and you don't want to laugh, but it's the scene is so comical that you can't help yourself, and they've been drinking wine. She's a little bit tipsy, so these kind of things happen, and but not necessarily the pushing and the kick on the head. So yeah, let's see how things turn out. Um, will evolve, but at the same time, we can clearly understand here the mixed feelings and the confusion around Lily's feelings. Um, Definitely understandable, but when it's someone that we have feelings for, it's always difficult to be very neutral and have a very discerning way of thinking. So yeah, this is again the complexity of being in a relationship and having feelings for someone. Yeah. So I hope you enjoyed this live reading, and I really hope you'll be able to join this live discussion workshop this Sunday. Um, and in the meantime, I will see you live for a new live reading tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. And for this live reading, for this new live, I will be reading chapters 15 and 16. So I guess we'll learn more about the follow-up of this event. Have a beautiful rest of the day. Bye bye. Bye.